we are hearing reports, rumors
Yeah.
that. What did you hear about Dave Chappelle? Did you hear this?
He said something about, the thing in Palestine that they're doing right now, and somebody was like, F you. He goes, no, you shut up, and $1 billion of our dollar. He made a pretty good argument, actually. And it wasn't some overwhelming, they all hated him. It
so
was
somebody
was mad because he brought up
Israel, Palestine, what's happening. Someone got mad.
Yeah.
He told him to shut up.
Yeah, they had a little
and
back and forth.
they had a little back and forth. And then they walked out of his show.
Yeah, part of the crowd was yelling "Free Palestine," apparently. Also,
really. Yeah,
so it was
they're splitting Dave Chappelle's audience.
His crowd formed 2 states.
So I just want. So this was the joke. So this special, he got in trouble for his trans jokes, but I remember, man, that's a badass looking suit too. He always looks good on stage, and but here he is. What now? Remember this joke? I can't believe he didn't get canceled for this. Was the joke? I thought as I'm watching this with Steph, and I'm like, what the f? He can't. They're airing this on Netflix. Yeah. Watch this. This is what I'm talking about.
And it made me think of an idea for a movie. It sounds dumb, but hear me out.
Turn it up a little more.
In my movie idea, we find out that these aliens are originally from Earth. That they're from an ancient civilization that achieved interstellar travel and left the Earth thousands of years ago. Some other planet they go to, and things go terrible for them in the other planet. So they come back to Earth, decide that they want to claim the Earth for their very own. It's a pretty good plot line, huh? I call it Space Jews. And when his master granted him the freedom.
How in the hell? That's the first part of the joke. There's another part coming.
Yeah.
How in the hell? Well, watch. This is the part. Okay, here we go.
He also gave him a plot of land. Now, it turns out this brother was brilliant. He had a good eye, a good knack for farming. And he farmed this plot of land very successfully and made a lot of money. And this is where the story gets crazy. When he got all that money, this nigga bought some slaves. You ever heard this before? This is a true story. Not only was he a slave owner, he became a slave breeder and employed tactics that were so cruel, even white slave owners were like, yo, my man. He was a wild dude, but he did it just because that's what successful people did at the time, and he just wanted to be down. What a fucking tragedy. How can a person that went through slavery perpetrate the same evil on a person that looks just like him? It's mind-blowing. And, shockingly, they're making a movie about him. Ironically, it's called Space Jews.
How did he get...
Well, when did this come out? This is close to BLM. Look, close to when BLM started, who said we support Hamas up front, people that are shocked, that's when Jews are also another kind of white people. We're close to the BLM times in America.
Uh-huh.
You're just another kind of white, okay? Now, as time has gone, and nobody's thinking about Gaza. I forgot about that blockade the whole time all this stuff was going on with trans or whatever. And now that this is flaring up again, after all these years of being mad about the trans jokes and not this joke, now this is flaring up again. So now the alliance that was not really firm other than mass corporate promotion of it is crumbling because a bunch of BLM and all the people of all those titles and that and Israel and Palestine, that doesn't really go together. And now it's coming out.
Yeah, so that's so...
And so now that might, like I said...
So BLM is on the side of Palestine.
They always were.
And so all those people, I'm talking about Hollywood celebrities and what have you, who are on the side of BLM, are now, they're on the side of Israel. And so now it's really...
The ones that are going to make it are.
The ones who are, yeah.
Go
ahead, Craig, you want to say something?
Yeah. No, I just laughing
okay.
about that.
So
that's what your woke is really Hollywood, the most propaganda, and this is breaking all. This is like during a strike.
Yeah.
Like where they tell them not to wear Halloween costumes or whatever for the strike. All kinds of nonsense.
Jeez.
So it's funny the nonsense that regular people have noticed for a long time is now making its way up to the different bubbles. Like it's spread to all the islands of reality. And that's what the exciting part is. You know, that in the upcoming we're going to blow up, but it is fun to watch this part of it where all those things you knew were ridiculous for these people to act like they had a coalition watching that split apart.
Wow. This is, I mean, I still can't get over this joke. That is
In
so,
America, Jews are white people unless
so
they're in
that is-
trouble. If you like, when Sarah's like, "Oh, Vey, I didn't know what I said about Joyanne Reed," like
Yeah.
she try to go back to.
yeah.
But even Whoopi Goldberg, remember, Whoopi Goldberg stuck with her comments that the Holocaust is white on white crime. She stuck with that going on another show to clarify. She stuck with. She
Yeah.
was like that Israeli ambassador talking about doing Dresden crimes. The way she stuck with that. So this stuff's splitting up now. Now you see the.
So this is the end of woke, and the reason why he was able to get away with that joke. Your theory is that because
White
he's making
people
fun
are
of white
bad,
people,
yes.
white people are bad, and Jews were white people according to the in that era
Just in
of
America, and also trans was way more important than this at the time. If you
Yeah.
recall,
Yeah.
that was like there was nothing more important in the entire world
in the entire world.
than trans issues. So, I mean, it really is like magic to do one joke that can make people upset while they're upset about
Yeah.
this other joke.
He also
Chappelle's
did the
great.
Saturday Night Live thing too, Kurt, too, as well.
What?
When he went after this, he did the Saturday Night Live thing where he went after Trump a little bit, kind of.
Yeah,
And that was kind of like when we saw that, it was like, okay, he's kind of caressing back the mainstream media now and all those
says what he
executives.
thinks.
And
No, I
Dave says
think-
what he
yeah.
thinks.
I
Yeah.
think that I didn't see the whole his whole Saturday Night Live set, but I did see the part where he said that Trump was an honest liar, which made me pull my hair out because I've been doing a version of that joke for over a year before he did it on
Mhm.
Saturday Night Live, and now people are going to think that I'm piggybacking off his ideas when it was parallel construction.
Oh, I would just drop it.
And I'm not dropping that.
Well, she's
But-
going to be president again. It looks like so.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll kick in.
But
Chappelle-
that's what
yeah.
I remember about him doing on Saturday Night Live was he did. So you're saying, but Craig, you're saying he went after Trump on Saturday Night
A
Live?
little bit. I mean, for me, I kind of felt when we saw that was like him retracting a little bit. Like, well, I'll go back to behaving somewhat. I won't go
I don't
craziness to
think
the
it
walls.
was.
I felt that way when I watched the whole thing. I
I thought it was ballsy of him
Yeah.
to say that Trump was an honest liar.
Chappelle says what he wants. I mean, look, if you ditch unlike
50
Jon Stewart,
Yeah.
Chappelle had a $50 million contract and said, sayonara, I'm
Sayonara.
going to South Africa because I just don't like the vibe of this. And I understand. I didn't get it at the time.
And I didn't realize that when he walked away from that contract that they told him that we'll make you look like a mental case before you
they
even,
did.
and they did.
Yeah, and I thought
He was a mental case for a couple of minutes
before I understood how the business works.
before I understood how what was happening.
Yeah, Jon Stewart probably just realized that he wasn't crazy just now with his $50 million.
You mean he was after he went on Colbert and did the lab leak joke?
No, after he got punked into doing that interview he didn't want to do with Condi and Hillary instead of running to Africa like a real man.
Yeah. It's tough, man. You can't have heroes in this world. You can't have heroes.
Well, you just don't worship him as a god. That's my advice to everyone.
Yeah. You can look up to people, but just know they're flawed. Everybody has huge flaws, right? Great men have great flaws.
I don't even care if you're great. If you did a thing I like that thing you did.
Yeah.
If you do something that I hate why does everybody need to have their box of the good and bad people? We're going to do Star Wars forever?
People need people to believe in, right? I think that's it.
But no principles. People don't need that.
People, I do. I'm no
Yeah.
different, right? I mean, I believed in Bernie Sanders, and what a heartbreak for me, I wanted to. Oh boy, RFK Jr. When he was saying all the right things about Ukraine, the war machine, and the COVID, and the Faucis, and the lockdowns, and he stood up to the big pharma, and I'm like, well, this guy obviously is the real deal, and then he just totally shits the bed on World War III.
Yeah, he did.
I said it to him when I had him. I go, don't you? You're losing you're not going to be the anti-war candidate. However, I said it. I go, you can't be an anti-war candidate now because of this Israeli stance. Doesn't that bother you? Are you worried about that? No. He's pro-war. He's pro-World War III. He's talking about China. He's talking about Iran. He's talking about Venezuela.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. My jaw was on the floor when I watched that.
How do you think you get elected to president if
I
you're
know.
a serious contender?
Well-
You literally, it's like I said, you're going to have to say every single thing. I don't know what, maybe he's all about that. I have no idea. But there is literally no serious contender for president of the United States who is not going to, at the very least, pay lip service to that. At the
Right.
very least, if not believe
But he
it.
went so far beyond
Yes,
the
he did.
pale.
It's got to
of-
make up for.
I understand
yeah.
lip service. I understand lip service to Israel-Palestine issue. I get it. I get lip service, but he went so
Yeah.
far
Maybe he believes
beyond
it.
the pale.
Look,
There's
here's
no
the-
way he believes that shit.
I
Here's
know.
the
I don't
thing.
believe he thinks
You
that
can
he is.
say, I believe Israel has the right to
If
exist.
he believed, I'm sorry, Craig,
Go
but
ahead.
if he believed it, he would do the interview with Max Blumenthal. But he won't do the interview with Max Blumenthal. He'll do the interview with a guy, an idiot like me, who doesn't know the facts on all that stuff, and so he can bull right over me.
Right.
But he won't do it with Max because he knows he's wrong.
We're
So-
getting close to the election now.
Yeah, go ahead,
No,
Craig.
I was just going to say, too, though, as well, it's like when people go, well, Pasta, why did you 86 him after those comments? He did say on Jimmy's show, he said to you when you went up to New Hampshire and asked him, do you stand with Israel? It's one thing to say, okay, I believe Israel has the right to exist. I believe they should be recognized and whatnot. But immediately out of the gate, you have to call for a ceasefire. He didn't call for,
He
a,
didn't call for a
ceasefire.
ceasefire.
He almost justified, we're going to give them what they need to protect themselves. Protect themselves by bombing people in Gaza. That's not the peace candidate. And then you say unambiguously you're going to support them no matter what. So if Israel goes after Iran and then Russia has to back Iran,
Right.
I mean, you just eliminated yourself from being the peace candidate. And
He gave a speech
Yeah.
on peace.
Yeah.
He gave an hour-long speech about peace.
Yeah.
Positioning himself as the peace candidate. And then he's like, let's go get China, let's get Iran, let's get Venezuela, let's get the Palestinians, let's start World War III.
yeah, we have to have Israel because if we don't, then we're going to lose our standing in the Middle East, and then China's going to take over. I'm like, is that
what?
you or Dick Cheney talking?
It's Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East
Oh.
because, as you know, we overthrew the other ones when they wouldn't give us their stuff.
That's right.
There's only one left because the other ones had oil we wanted.
There's this thing called EnviroCleanse. It's an air purifier, and it's so powerful, according to this copy, that the U.S. Navy chose it to purify the air on their ships. But let me tell you about my personal experience with EnviroCleanse. This purifier, they sent us one, and Misha put it in my bedroom. And normally my bedroom always smelled musty. I thought we had mold. I brought in a mold specialist. The guy says, I can't find any mold. I'm like, but do you smell it in here?
You say check your balls.
And he said, check my bowl. And so so Misha puts that in there. I come back from a road trip doing comedy, and I'm like, oh my God, that horrible smell is out of my room. And it was because of that EnviroCleanse thing. It's amazing. So now I'm going to have it forever. But let me tell you a bit more about this. They have a sale, and the 30% off. It's official cold and flu season, and now the new COVID strain is out. Oh, God. EnviroCleanse is proven to capture and destroy flu and COVID viruses in your home, plus bacteria, toxins, mold, and allergens. That's what it says right here. It says EnviroCleanse has been proven. So it's how you fight back against the entire family getting sick. That's what it says. In fact, EnviroCleanse is the only home purifier that promises you and your family better health. And it makes that promise by helping clear your home of cold, flu, and COVID viruses. That's why I have EnviroCleanse in my home, the new science in home air purification. Don't miss this 30% off sale. And you're going to need it. Order your EnviroCleanse home air purifier while supply. And here's what you do. You go to ekpure.com. That's ekpure.com, and use the promo code Jimmy30. That's ekpure.com, code Jimmy30. ekpure.com, code Jimmy30, and enjoy your clean air. Hey, come see us doing a live stand-up show in Bloomington, Illinois, Indianapolis, Levittown, New York, Red Bank, New Jersey, Wilmington, Delaware, Covina, California, Burbank, California, Oxnard, California, Venice, California, and Palmdale, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.